likable person.
It's on the Atlantic side.
No, it's on the Gulf side.
Is it?
It's on up, yeah.
So it's close to Sarasota. That's where we're flying into. And so we got a house, so it's
You just open it. It's gonna get a little warm in here if we don't keep those doors open.
Yeah, I'm warm, which
Just that one right there.
is something, yeah.
Thanks.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Will you please rise and say the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Here.
Mr. Rolla-Dye?
Yes.
Ms. Getzman?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes, thank you. And I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the last two meetings of March 20th, a regular meeting, and March 30th, our special meeting.
So moved.
Mr. Rolla-Dye.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Workman. Do you have any corrections? Hearing none, would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Rolla-Dye?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzman?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening. Thank you for coming. And I don't believe we have any commendations. Is that correct?
I do have a commendation, but it'll be in my district report. I've got two kind of things to share that are just exciting that's going on in the district.
Then we'll turn it over to our middle school. If you would like to begin, Mr. Gross.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. I'm Rob Gross, the principal here at the middle school. And I'm very excited. We've had a lot of different programs over the years. I think you remember we had our PBIS program that came to share with the board. Obviously, that's a program that's helped our entire building and continues to help our building. As you well know also about the robotics program and how much it's grown, not only from the start of middle school from a few years ago, also now into the high school. So I'm very excited. So look over here, the two teachers that are responsible for this, Erica Gray and Sandy Ward. They had gone to a conference and they had listened to Jack Bruckmeyer, who's also been in our building, who's an amazing person, amazing speaker, amazing teacher. And they learned some things about this peer tutoring program that they wanted to be able to try in our building. So they wanted to be able to try it in 6th grade. It's something that we want to look forward to in the future to continue to each grade level, because again, we think it's not only going to help 6th grade, but it's going to be able to help every single student in our building eventually. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Erica Gray and Sandy Ward.
Sure, thank you.
Oh, it is really fun. There we go.
There we go. So as Rob said, we went to a conference in the fall, which they helped send us there, so we were very appreciative of that. So it's called the Ohio Middle Level Association Conference. There was a middle school there, it's called Bellbrook Middle School. They presented about peer tutoring. And we went to that session together and we thought, this is great. We would love to try this. Like the way they did it wouldn't quite have worked for us. So we came back, they were awesome and shared everything they had for the whole program. So we sat down one day after school and just edited and made it work for us.
So we were looking at, one of the reasons why we were excited about it is we were looking at some of the things we already have in place. Friday night school, homework help, those things are great, except for there are some kids who can't stay after school. Tier 2, Tier 3 interventions, they are not working on projects at that time or homework per se. So there are some kids that are just kind of left out. So we thought maybe this would be something that we could try at our middle school. So when we came back, and like she said, we kind of tweaked it and we made it our own. And then we talked to all of our classes about it. And we said, trying to pump them up, saying, if you want to apply to be a tutor, you can do that. When they filled out their forms, it was about, they recorded their grades and then why they thought they would be a good tutor. And then we sat together with our team teachers and we decided who we thought might be good tutors at that time.
And there's quotes throughout from the kids, the actual tutors. So like this one, they said, I was able to make a new friend. Lots of the kids had made friends that they wouldn't have made otherwise.
And we found those quotes, by the way, we did a checkout form at the end of the 9 weeks. So they were able to state things that they thought maybe ways we could improve, but things that were successful for them, challenges they had, and so forth. So we got some really cool quotes.
So we ended up with 51 peer tutors between the two of us and the other team. So this is just for this semester. So there were lots of other kids that applied, but their grades weren't quite there, or maybe there was a behavior issue or whatever issue. So I was kind of the lead of how we broke it to them. So I said, hey, you know, like we want you in the program. We're gonna hopefully do it next year, and we would love for you to just work on that, get your grades up, and then reapply. And we've had kids from the first time we did it to the second time that reapplied and were accepted, so it's helped. So we also, once we got the tutors, we did a tutor training session that the other school shared with us. So we changed it just a little bit, but we did it with all of our tutors, so that's what we did before we started tutoring. We had 247 student sessions, so with a tutor and tutee. And 114 different sixth graders were tutored. So lots of them came multiple times. So this is making a huge impact.
And I have to say, the kids are so excited about it. They will come the day of tutoring. Are we tutoring today? Are we tutoring today? And they just love it. And so it's been cool for us to see how it's working. And they've really stepped up. So it's nice.
And because it's such a new program, we don't have a whole lot of data about how it's impacted kids other than statements at this point.
So we did start the program in January, and as she said, it has continued. It's currently going on. And again, we have had a lot of success with it so far. We've been really excited about it. It's a lot of hard work, maybe more than what we thought at the beginning. But that's okay. We're getting it down. We're doing things to kind of make it easier also on ourselves. But as I said, the kids are really excited about it and they want to be tutors.
And it's worth the work. So we've had lots of support from parents, the teams, the administration, obviously the other kids. So I'll let you read your quote.
And I also wanted to personally thank Rob and Robin, because we talked to them as soon as we came back. We were like, okay, we need to have a meeting with them. And they were very receptive, which we appreciated. And so that's how we were able to start it. But then we talked to our team teachers as well. And we said, you know, what do you think about the program? And so the first quote, I have seen leaders emerge from our tutoring program, as well as students begin to take more ownership of their learning. This program has helped various students both academically and socially. As I've witnessed that, some of the best lessons learned are with our peers. And the socially thing, I have to mention, I had a few students who applied that when I saw they applied, I was kind of surprised because they're really quiet or shy, and they've really come out of their shell, which has been cool to see.
And the other quote, I would be the first to admit I didn't imagine the tutoring program would have a big effect. I assumed less kids would struggle, but I've gone from 20 to 30 students missing work in my class to less than 5 on a given week since it has started. So just to put it in perspective, we normally have between like 80 and 100 on our team. The biggest surprise to me is that the tutors' grades have also improved. Having to explain content to others has improved their understanding of my material. I can't imagine not doing the tutoring system moving forward. So that was nice. So we also focus on English language arts and organization. So when we say organization, if you've ever had middle school kids, you know what the backpacks can look like sometimes. So we have some kids that maybe that's just what they do at tutoring. They just help organize. And
in fact, I had a couple kids today say, I need to sign up for a tutor. I need to get my, actually I did. Yeah. I'm like, maybe so.
Yeah. And they work on essays and practicing skills even for ELA.
Right. And then also, we have math and we do reassessments. They do reassessments sometimes in math. So we've put together study groups where we'll have a couple of tutors and they'll use the dry erase boards with a group of kids. And then they'll kind of go over some concepts that they're learning, especially I know when they started algebra, that was a big thing, that there were several kids that were a little confused about that. So we had people that were, some tutors that were really good in math that were able to do that. And that was the other thing that I wanted to, I guess, mention that, you know, we've explained to the kids when we talk to them that not everybody is good at everything. I mean, even tutors may need tutored every once in a while.
Yep.
You know, there may be a subject that you're not as strong in. And so it's okay. And we've had that happen, so.
And it's just normalized.
Yeah.
They know, like,
Right.
it's fine. If I have to tutor or I'm being tutored, it's fine.
Yeah. Social studies, my subject, is also another one. So if we have a test coming up or we have, you know, study guides and things like that, we'll put together groups as well. Reviewing grades, sometimes they will look on progress book with the student and see what do we need to focus on? Do we have missing assignments, things like that.
How to prioritize
Yes.
things, because some kids need help with that. So we also focus on science. Sometimes kids will actually be doing a lab in the room. It can be really chaotic in one room because it's literally all the things happening at one time. We also focus on building educational and social skills. So something that I have started doing when they're done with work is not just, okay, go turn it in. Like, how are we going to have this conversation with the adult? How are you going to send an email? Let's talk through it. Like, the tutors know. So they're starting to build those skills that as they get older, it's not just awkward, like, here's my paper. It's, hey, Miss Gray, I'm done with this, here.
Yeah. And I will say, sorry to interrupt, but they do get little cards, and at the end of their session, it's a real quick card where they circle, yes, no, did they finish all of it? And they can leave comments, and the number of comments we get are really sweet. Some of them, one of them was like, it went really well. I even gave her my phone number, just in case she has any questions. It was so sweet, so yeah, they do.
And so these are our videos. Some of the tutors volunteered to create videos about the program for us to share for tonight. So
The one you want?
the one on the left one's fine. Yep.
Helped you guys, and how has it helped me?
So we'll leave it with the kids because one's with the experience and they appreciated it. So thanks.
Now, when do you carve out the time in the day to do all of this?
So we do that in our flex period. So it's already built into the schedule. We also do tier 2 during that time. We do programs.
We usually do 2 days a week. We'll do it. And I know our days aren't necessarily the same when we do it, just because our teams are different and when they do things differently. but 2 days a week. And boy, if you miss 1 week, they're really.
They're like, well, I didn't get
wanna
to, so do we
it.
get more?
And I've had to explain to them, we have state testing Wednesday, we're not gonna tutor.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Thank you.
Where do you see it going, let's say, next year? I mean, this is your trial year,
Yeah.
really just sixth grade. Do you see it going to seventh and doing sixth again, or?
I definitely think it could go on into 7th. I mean, definitely we're doing it next year for sure. And we would like to have time, I know, to meet with the 7th grade teachers and talk to them about it, because these kids are all pumped up and they're ready to go.
And it would be so
Next-
much easier next
Yeah.
year because these kids have the experience.
Right.
So like the teachers kind of can just walk into it and those kids will lead it, you know? So that's pretty
So
cool.
I had talked to them about, like here in May, once we get state testing done, I'm gonna have them meet with the 7th grade teachers, because that's something that we want to continue to build upon, so.
And where do you have the children meet?
For my team, our teachers had decided that we would have them go, like if a student is in one classroom that needs to be tutored, the tutor would go to them.
Okay.
But I try, and it's really difficult because you have all of these names, and then you have the names of your tutors, and you're trying to match kids and how it's gonna work. I don't put more than 3 tutors in one of their classrooms.
Okay.
If there are extras, I just put them in mine, you know,
Okay.
and so they're all monitored. And, but it's just, that's the way our team does it.
And my team's a little different, so I have a Google form that I have my team teachers fill out with what kids need what. And all those kids end up in my room with my tutors, who are my normal flex. So there have been days where I ended up with like 50 kids in my room. And they're doing math, they're doing science, social study, like they are doing all the things, and it's just,
Okay, organized chaos.
it's organized chaos, yes. But I mean, you walk in and those kids are on it the whole time.
Right.
I mean,
They really are.
Like, we're just there to answer questions, really. Like, we don't really have to intervene.
No, and I said, every time, I swear, every time they come in, I'll say, how'd it go, oh, it went well, you know, and I just, I'm awesome, and these kids, they really are, they're great.
Rob, can you share with the board, they talk about teams, and I don't know how much you all know about the teams, but we have 2 teams per grade level, right?
Yeah, we have 3 teams per,
3 teams.
3 teams. We used to have 2, and then we moved to 3 teams per grade level, so, so obviously at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So again, that's what we're talking about with this foundation of not only having to work with, say, like Sandy's team, but then Erica has to work with her team, then we also have a 3rd team. So it takes a lot of organization and cooperation, and, you know, as we kind of said, they were willing to be the guinea pigs to try this project, and obviously it's been very successful. So that's why I'm so excited to be able to, and the tutors are as well, you know, to be able to take this into, you know, for next year for 7th grade.